Hello, everyone. Paul Ezel, the virtual investor, and today I want to talk about the work-life schedule and how to balance your work life and your family life. Extremely difficult. Before I dive into it here, make sure you click on the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, and also if you like it, make sure you give us a thumbs up here. All right, so why do so many investors struggle with this? As entrepreneurs, it seems to be a daily struggle because we all have shiny object syndrome, right? We see something, we want to run with that. We see something new, we want to run with that. But in order to be successful in this business, you have to have some kind of focus. So first thing you can do, the most important thing you can do, is schedule out your day. Now, it's going to be different for everybody out there. Some people drop off their kids to school, or now that we're in summertime, maybe to camp. And then some people pick them up, right? So what do you do? Or do you do both? If you see some of these single moms out there, you might have to do both. Single dad, same thing. Depending on what your lifestyle is like, you might want to adjust even more. So when you start your day, for me, generally, I drop my daughter off for school, come back, grab a cup of coffee, start my day. Start with emails. Then I go into putting out as many fires as I possibly can, right? And this is something that's going to throw your day off potentially as well. And maybe it's best for you to schedule out certain days for certain things. Like I'll have a podcast, right? So maybe my podcast days are Tuesday and Thursday, and my regular traditional work days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's something you got to do. Then the next thing is, when do you find time to go to the gym? If you're somebody who wants to go to the gym or run or exercise or whatever you're doing, play golf, pickle, tennis, whatever it may be. So you got to fit that in. You got to figure out times to schedule it. And again, that's going to be different for everybody. Some people are really good at working out in the morning. I'm not. Some people are better in the middle of the day. Some people are better at the end of the day or even in the evening. So you got to figure out what fits your schedule best and what works and makes most sense for you. Now let's talk about another good thing, your significant other. So if you're married or you're dating, you need to have a date night. Super important. You need to have that. It's very important to just what balances you out, because otherwise you can't be working all the time. You've got to spend time with your significant other, talk about anything, whether it's the kids or your future plans, or if you're working in a business together, you need to talk about things that are not involved with the business. Or maybe you come up with and you go out to a dinner and you are talking about business and different endeavors you guys want to do in the business. So it depends what everybody's going to be different with this. Now, let's talk about something that I did for the last 11 years. It's my first year off from it, coaching your children. So I used to coach travel baseball. Did it all the way up until last spring. Really last summer, actually. Went into the season, went pretty long. And what happens is my first quarter starts out really strong because I know I got to, because I'm going to lose so much time in Q2. My Q2 numbers are good. My Q1 numbers are good. Q2 drop significantly. Q3 picks up and Q4 is through the roof. Partly because of inventory, because we buy bank-owned properties, and most of these banks reduce or get rid of a lot of their inventory at the end of the year. That helps have strong fourth quarters, strong first quarters. But my second quarter would always drop because I couldn't focus as much. And that was a work-life balance for me. I decided I was going to be doing that. And I didn't care that it dropped my revenue, right? I just made it work. Now this year, quarter two has been as good, if not better, than Q1. And I anticipate Q3 to continue to grow and Q4 to be even bigger. So now that I am out of that coaching loop, at least temporarily, I have an 8-year-old daughter. I may end up coaching her at some point here, but probably not travel baseball or travel softball or anything like that. So I'm still going to be able to have a little bit better balance. But depending on how important that is to you, and some people it's not important, some people it is really important. Now, how can you reduce your hours? How can you reduce the time you put into the business? And it all comes with delegating. Again, I struggle with this mightily, delegating tasks. So maybe start, if you're somebody who struggles to delegate, start with VAs and give them little things, and then start adding a little bit more and more and more. And eventually, let's say you're the acquisition manager, you like it but don't love it, find somebody to replace you. That would hopefully be better than you. Then your disposition manager, potentially find somebody to replace you in that side of the business if you're a solopreneur. And then the marketing side, you eventually want to find somebody to replace you there, because ultimately what you want to do is be the CEO, be the guy behind the desk, guy or gal behind the desk, sitting there monitoring everything, but not bogged down by the daily day-to-day operations. I've really started to pull back this year with that, giving people different tasks, and that's helped tremendously open up a lot more free time for me to come up with different ideas, do different things in business, right? For me, it's just a shift in what I'm looking at, what I'm going to be doing here in the future. So this is something you have to do if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, because you've got to learn to shift. You've got to learn to get that nice work-life balance so you're not stressed all the time. You don't get early gray hair, right? So hopefully this helped you guys. And if it did, make sure you give us the thumbs up, and I will catch you at the next video.